occasion. So keep alive with our traditional culture and giving life to this event. So I request our guest and our campus director Dr. Rashmi Gujrati and our keynote speaker to please come forward for a lamp lighting ceremony.
Yes, sir.
On an online mode as well as offline mode. So it's time for us to formally commence our event. So we like to get started with Saraswati Vandana. So I request all the audience to please stand at your places for a Saraswati Vandana. So I request Sanjeev sir to please play the Saraswati Vandana. Of Tradepreneur Global Research Organization to celebrate World Environment Day. So World Environment Day is celebrated annually on 5th June and encourage awareness and action for protection of environment. The theme of World Environment Day on 5th June 2023 will focus on solution to plastic pollution under the campaign Beat Plastic Pollution. The world is being inundated by plastic. More than 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year, half of which is designed to be used only once. So of that, less than 10% is recycled. An estimated 19 to 20 million tons end up in lakes, rivers and seas. Now I request Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, Campus Director of KC Group of Institution, to please come forward for a welcoming note. Before that, I request to IQAC Headmaster Ankush and Campus Director Dr. Rashmi Gujrati to please get the keynote speaker, Engineer Ashwini Joshi, honored with token of love. Good morning everyone, and it's my pleasure that today we are here and organizing World Environment Day. And thank you very much sir, you have accepted our invitation and given your precious time. We know that you are very busy in your work, but in the last moment you have accepted our invitation and you are with us. Today we have a great opportunity to listen
working in this project, and in project means not to be gain something but to save the planet. As we know that 5th June is celebrating our World Environment Day. Do you know that today is the anniversary of World Environment Day, and that is the 50th anniversary, means Golden Jubilee. This has been started on 1st June, and the project has been took by the UN, and they have took the agenda in 2015 and to be complete up to 2030. I remember in 2008 when I had joined AC Group of Institution Moldova. That time Himachal has took initiative and they have stopped plastic. They have stopped to give plastic bags. Means that if I remember that before 14 years they have started. Still we are giving this awareness to our staff, to our students. Means this is a very big project. As you know very well that recently we have seen the news that we have entered in the largest population country. Means that we have been with China. But with that we have also listened the news that we are in 5th economic GDP since 2019. What the message goes that every economy has been crushed by the COVID-19. Every country's economy has been fallen down. But India economy is a stable and still growing. You do? Due to the hard work of the Indian people? Am I right? Think yourself. Due to punctuality of the Indian people? This is the question for you to think yourself. When I talk about the environment area, why we are going to organize this program, why there is a need to organize this program. We are faculty, we are the teacher, we are here to teach the students. But before teaching the students, we have to understand that what we are doing. Many of the people from us are here, those who eat uncle chips and throw the packet outside. Right? Many of us are drinking any of the cold drink and throw the bottle outside. In our campus, if I start walk from here to whole campus, then many of the bottles, many of the plastic bags would be found in the campus. Did you thought any day why should not I pick this bag? Why should not I pick this bottle and put in the dustbin? Did we took this initiative ourselves? Yes or no? Because this is to think ourselves. Don't think that if I have appointed as a faculty in any organization, if I have become a teacher means that I have a big professor. To become a big professor, we have to do work ourselves. If something is looking in front of you that it is not good, you can come yourself and do it. But this has been happened? No. This is the first task to ourselves that we have to take this task, that we have to save our planet. When we say, when recently I was discussing in the office that lot of the people say that today is a plantation day, we will plant the plants. But do you care of that plant? Only doing the plantation is not the support of the planet. It's a very good initiative. Congratulations to all the faculty members that today you are going to plant your pot in the campus. And I think that each and every faculty has put their name. Right? Now what you have to do, that is your plant, that is your baby. You have to grow that baby. Daily, it is your duty in the morning and in the evening you have to pour water. Because that is your pot. You have to grow it. If you will grow, it means that what they are giving to you back, we have to understand this. If ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. फिर कहते हैं मेरा दम घुट रहा है, खिड़कियां खोल दो. यू से लाइक दिस. भाई खिड़कियां तो खोल दे, लेकिन बाहर पेड़ पौधे होंगे तभी तो आपको ऑक्सीजन मिलेगा. I think that in the 6th class or 7th class we were teaching, we have learned that plants give oxygen in the day hour. But plant want energy also. And from where plant take? We have to pour water. We have to give feed. What they want? They want your care. Ayurvedic doctors are here. Ask them. They are giving the treatment through these plants. Am I right or wrong? Many of the plants are there. That is a medicine. रामायण सबने सुनी है. सबको पता है हनुमान जी संजीवनी बूटी लेने गए थे. That was also what? That was also a plant. Means कि संजीवनी बूटी भी एक लक्ष्मण जी को विजिट कर सकती थी. तभी तो संजीवनी बूटी मंगाई थी. Not only संजीवनी बूटी, lot of the plants are there that are medicine for us. Do you know that the plastic, what is going on? Today I was looking, then I saw and I searched and I found that around we are eating 5 lakh per 50,000 plastic particles are going in our body. What we are doing? If we are saying that 10% people, around 400 million ton of plastic are worldwide. Where is this plastic going? Only 10% plastic is going to recycle. And rest plastic is going where? It is going in the lake, it is going in the river, it is going in the sea, it is going in the garbage. What is going? Whom harm? If it go in the lake, in the sea, it means that our sea animals are dying. इससे पहले भी हमने डॉक्टर को देखा कि कचरे में प्लास्टिक होने की वजह से गाय ने प्लास्टिक खा लिया और गाय के पेट में प्लास्टिक हो गई और गाय मर गई है. We have seen these news also. Who had to take this initiative? First, we have to take this initiative. किसी और को कहने से पहले हमें खुद को इसको अपनाना होगा. You have to take yourself. किसी और को मना करने से पहले सबसे पहले हमें मना करना होगा. But what we are doing, if we see that if we are purchasing something and if any shopkeeper has given a very good plastic bag, we take that bag और लाकर उसको तय करके रख लेते हैं कि next time we will use that. Are we doing like this? Even we have seen lot of the ads that use your cotton bag, carry your bag, but we are not carrying this. So to save the planet, it's our responsibility to put the plant. We have to seed them. Today you all are going to install your pot in the campus and you have put your name. Now it is your responsibility that your plant should not be died. You have to pour water in the morning and you have to pour water in the evening. Like when you go and put your attendance. सोचो जिस दिन आप नहीं आओगे आपके पौधे को पानी कोई कौन देगा? आपका पौधा मर जाएगा. तब आप किसी को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके जाओ कि tomorrow I am on the leave, please give water to my plant. जैसे क्लास के एडजस्टमेंट करते हैं. You have to do this. इस जितने प्लांट्स आज बाहर आए around 100 pots are there. इसमें कोई पानी नहीं देगा. मैं कोई गार्डनर नहीं लगाऊंगी इधर. कोई गार्डनर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है कि इसमें पानी आया नहीं आया. It is your responsibility. 1 liter in the morning, 1 liter in the evening. You will give water. Right? Can you take oath? No? खड़े हो जाओ. क्या मदर विदाउट केयर अपने बच्चे को छोड़ देती है? मदर सुबह से लेकर शाम तक अपने बच्चे की केयर करती है. जब छोटा बेबी होता है तो दोनों की मदर, उसकी दादी, नानी, पापा, चाचा, बुआ सब उसकी केयर करते हैं. इसको गर्मी तो नहीं लगी, इसको ठंड तो नहीं लगी, State your name. Myself. State your name. Myself, Professor Dr. Rishmi Gujarati. I take oath that I will feed my plant, I will grow my plant, and I will take care of my plant. If anyhow I am on leave, I will give responsibility to others. Take care of my plant. I will drink 1 liter water in the morning. And I will give the water to my plant before entering the college. In the evening, before leaving the college, I will water my plant. Thank you. Now remember this. This is your happy, state your seat. Then you will feel more happy. करके तो देखो. Not a formality. मैडम ने कह दिया, चलो एक कान से सुन लिया, दूसरे कान से. No formality. We have to do our best. जब हम करेंगे then our students will be good. But it's enough to give you this message. So please stay on this message. Take care of your plants and save your planet, save your earth, because they are our mother. Without fresh environment, we cannot live in the society. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think everyone definitely will work on your guidance. As we are joined by our keynote speakers offline as well as in offline mode. So our first keynote speaker is Engineer Ashwini Joshi, who is founder of Go Green International Organization and founder of International My Tree Day. He is dedicated to promote voluntary tree plantation and tree care. He is author of Hindi book Primarji Ekangi, which is released by Government of Punjab. He is bringing extraordinary focus on combination of vocation, profession, passion and mission of life, and thus to motivate the students and professionals finding ways to succeed for living meaningful, satisfying, happy, long life. He is native of Punjab and especially from Damashar itself is an icon of success and environment savior. So now I request our keynote speaker Engineer Ashwini Joshi to please come forward and share your views with the audience.
Comes tonight, so I need to use this. Okay, just to know how many other students, kindly raise hand. Students only. Raise your hand. Any student here? Okay, most of you are the faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, happy World Environment Day. Environment issue has become so important that it needs focus. But I would suggest the topic today, the globally being discussed, be plastic pollution. The focus is not sufficient. We need laser focus on this issue. We claim the nature to be our mother. Just think, do we really care for it? Ask yourself. Well, since I see most of the faculty, all the learned participants are here, I will discuss practically what touches our life on today's main subject, be plastic pollution. So, no lecture. We will discuss, we will share our action plan. As an individual, we have thought to contribute to this global problem. I'm sure every young person knows about the environment and the pollution. The subject is very well known to all, especially educated people. So therefore, I expect such a beautiful guidance you get from your campus director, Srimati Rashmi Vijati, that she is imparting you much more beyond the just syllabus of your books. Therefore, in such an institution, all the faculty members and the students certainly become different. They make a difference. There are 5 W's. What, why, when, where, who. These 5 W's we have to get connected with the problem, and you will find answers to yourself. I promise today, from this seminar, from this interaction, you will certainly take something for your whole life. I will simply ask one of you, Madam, where are you sitting? Where are you sitting? Back to you. Where are you sitting today? Where? Where you are sitting? Where? Where? जोर से बोलिए. Next. Any better answer somebody can give? Okay, Siddharth, breathe the green turban.
Plastic chair. Plastic chair.
Plastic chair. Last, madam. जोर से बोलिए.
Plastic chair.
Plastic chair. Okay. Everybody has his own vision. Neither you are sitting on the plastic chair, nor in the AC institution, nor in Namaskar, nor in Punjab. You are participating United Nations Environment Program globally being celebrated everywhere in the world. We are the participant in that such a big event. You are sitting, you are sharing that global event today. If I am wrong, please raise hand. Correct me. We have not come here for fun. We have not come here for a cup of tea. Most deadly issue today, the UN, earlier they said reuse the plastic, then they say single-use plastic to be eliminated. They realize not sufficient. Totally we have to beat the plastic pollution. Why so serious? Why those scientists? Why those researchers? Why those educationists? Why those intellectuals have given such importance to it? Don't you just realize? It's quite simple as when we conserve the environment today, the future generation may be able to live healthier life. We cannot be so selfish that will use up the whole resources by ourselves and leave nothing for the future. Leave no air for the future, no, leave no water for the future, leave no food for the future. These days, mango season is going on. Just raise the hand. Who are buying the mangoes from the market for eating? Just raise the hand. You don't eat mangoes? Anyone? These days is mango season. King of fruits. Most of the people love mango. You buy the mangoes, you eat the mangoes. Okay, who are eating the mangoes? Raise hand. आप नहीं खाते हो? हैं? आप भी नहीं खाते हो? Okay. But it is a king of fruits. It is said everyone. सबके मुंह में पानी आ जाता है मीठा आम को। अल्फेंसो जैसा मैंगो हमारे इंडिया में होता है, दुनिया भर में मिलता है। ओके, जो बाजार से आम खाते हैं, कभी उन्होंने आम का पेड़ लगाया जिंदगी में? ओके, वो लोग हाथ खड़ा करें जिन्होंने अपने लगाए हुए पेड़ के लिए आम खाते हैं। 1, 2, 3, नॉट मच। तो बाकी सब लोग बाजार से वो मैंगो खरीदते हैं, उन पेड़ों का लगा हुआ खरीदते हैं जो पेड़ किसी और ने लगाए थे। ट्रू? कहावत है, बाबा लगाए पोता खाए। बिकॉज मैंगो ट्री 7 साल के बाद तो फ्रूट देना शुरू करता है। Become a full tree takes 10 years. अगर मुझे आज आम खाने, if I have to eat mangoes today, so I can't grow the tree. I will wait for 10 years to eat the mangoes. So certainly I am enjoying the best mangoes from the market, from the trees which have been grown by my elders, which has been grown by my forefathers or by others. If others have grown the mango trees, so today we are enjoying the mangoes. If they have not planted the mango trees, could you imagine to eat mangoes? Could you imagine to eat mangoes? What your forefathers have done for you is not your duty to do it for your grandchildren. How your grandchildren will eat the mangoes if you don't grow the trees? Are we so selfish? Let's not talk about other people, future generation. It's a very big word. Not everyone can understand future generation. People don't worry. People are selfish nowadays because lot of busy life, competitive life. They have no time to think. A common man, I'm talking about common man. So they are busy in earning their 3 times bread, own livelihood. They are busy in livelihood. So it is our duty to do something so that this world don't call us selfish, so that we are not proved to be selfish. What facilities and comforts others have given to us, we must save them, we must prepare them for the future generation, from our children and grandchildren. It's simple. That is the practical way of life. I am not lecturing. If your parents have built a good house for you, you should not end it here. You have, it is your duty to do something for your children. If this little mango example you take in your life, I think beating the plastic pollution, we have succeeded. Anybody who does not agree, raise hand. And now who agrees, raise hand. You have not understood me, my words. Why I am taking feedback? Because it should not be one-way lecture. Have you understood my? So you agree with it? So raise hand. My English is okay, I think. Everybody can understand. I'm simple English. Okay. With the same, pledge yourself that this kind of example I will pass on to others, pass on to my students, pass on to my children, pass on to the societies and the communities around me. In turn, it will help me because I have a philosophy that if you like the fragrance of roses, don't just plant the roses in your own house. Plant the roses, give the roses to your neighbors. Trust me, the whole day you will get the fragrance of roses. If you are planted in your own house, you will only get for a few minutes. I think scientifically it is true. So that is the way practical, how we should move on. So no matter how small efforts you do, because these small efforts bring biggest results. Like they say, drop by drop, we make the ocean. बूंद बूंद से घड़ा बनता है. As there are a lot of diseases that originate due to the unhygienic living conditions, stagnant water leading to malaria, dengue, etc., which lands us in the hospitals. So we must make sure to cover the tanks, pots, coolers and more, which may become a breeding ground for such insects and diseases to cause us sickness to reach hospital. Now, you may be thinking I am going over the topic. It has nothing to do with the plastic pollution. Reduce these diseases and you will use less plastic from the hospital. Imagine when you land up in the hospital bed and the glucose is going, the capillary is made of, you will made of plastic, the bottle is made of plastic, the small injection glass bottle with the rubber cap, small, which is never recycled, is made of plastic. And if you multiply by the population globally, it comes to tons and tons and truckloads of the waste of plastic which goes into our environment. So keeping your environment healthy and living green life will indirectly help beat plastic pollution. When I was thinking of interacting with you, this came into my mind. It is nowhere mentioned this example in the United Nations Environment Program, and none of the meetings, this particular example I assure you, it was just came from my mind, because seriously I was thinking what I can do indirectly. In this way, I help myself, I help my family. If they are healthy, they don't fall sick. Somewhere I am helping. So these are the little indirect efforts we can think of. We have to, that's why I said, focusing on issue is not enough. We have to laser focus. No, I said about the hospital example, don't fall sick and it will help. So similarly, any example from the audience. Because I initially told you, we will share the knowledge. Because you are all educated. Different people with a different mind, a different education, have a different ideas. And when we put all ideas into one platform, we become much more stronger. We learn from each other. Please give some example from your household how you are going to beat the plastic pollution at your end. Any volunteer, stand up please.
Milk packets we are getting from home. It's better to get it from dairy rather than buying daily packets.
Very good, very good. Don't bring plastic packets. So, okay. Here I will request, I have a suggestion to take something. I said, we will take something from this seminar. Suddenly I have given you granted. May I request, ban the incoming plastic that add to the waste in your institution. Anything which is coming in and going to become a waste, बच्चे घर से प्लास्टिक रैपर्स में बिस्कुट लेके आते हैं, बिस्कुट खा लेते हैं, they eat the biscuit and throw the wrappers in your institution. They add to your plastic waste. Ban it. अपना कचरा अपने घर में रखो. Don't bring it to my home. And Madam also has rightly told, don't bring it from the market. First pay for it and then bring it. They never give you packing in free. All the packing you are being charged for it. All the plastic bottle you buy, उसका 10 रुपया ऐड होता है उसमें. So keep in mind, I will not bring the plastic to my house. I will not generate the waste. That is what I can do globally. I am not the government. I cannot make the policies. I am not the United Nations. I cannot give you order. I don't have the funds to give you funds. But I can do it myself. Small efforts. And that will help globally. So, you are not doing a small thing. You are doing something globally, which others may recognize today or not, but you will feel it great. You will feel satisfied in your life that I have done it. When about 13 years back, in 2010, we started from India celebrating International Mighty Day, which comes on the last Sunday of the July. Somebody asked me how it is going to matter much. I said, the word "my" has been inducted in that. It is not somebody's day. When you say International Might Day, it is your day. You make the international day. And who will qualify to celebrate that? Who has the tree? If you have your tree, so you will have the Might Day. जो जिसका जन्म ही नहीं हुआ वो अपना जन्मदिन कैसे मनाएगा? So every person will start thinking, why I don't have my tree on this earth? Such a huge earth God has gifted us, and I don't have even one tree there. And today, your institute to celebrate this day has brought about 100 trees to be gifted to you, to be called your tree, your personal tree. So certainly you will celebrate the tree day when it comes. Now these little deeds make you realize how wholesome your life will become. And it is not always about the luxury and the money. The little fulfilling things and change in habit can also prove very important. We have to change little bit habits. We have to sometimes remold the things, and you will find the results coming. When I say money and luxury, I'm sure to do all these things you don't need funds, money, or a great deal of expenses. Simply start avoiding certain things, and you will help in this study. The report says every minute one truck load of the waste plastic is being dumped into ocean. And when we talk about ocean again and again, you see about thousand rivers in this world carrying the pollution starting from your cities to some nalas, then through rivers, and rivers going to the main ocean. They are carrying all the garbage from all over the countries to the main ocean. Now, plastic pollution is a global problem. Between 1950 to 2017, approximately 10 billion tons. 1 billion is 100 crore. 10 billion tons of plastic garbage has gone into the ocean, which makes around 70% of the total production. That means if you make 100 tons, the 70 ton is wasted, mixed with the environment. I give you an example. How we do the harm and where we have to now take care. There is a plastic crockery comes with the melamine, very famous melamine crockery. They sell it expensive, melamine coated, and people pay more money to buy the melamine coated crockery. What happens after few months to that crockery, the plates? You feel the scratches on that, very rough it has become. Where that melamine coating is gone? Over the period, while eating in the plate, with the friction of the spoon, it is ultimately consumed by us. You use what we say, C, the tea, Jaipundi, plastic. We pour the boiling tea into that to filter the tea. That plastic slowly, gradually becomes weak. It is washed away with your hot tea. And where it ends up? In our body. This way, the plastic is going into our body, which is causing cancer, like problems to us. So we are unaware of it. Simple example, cigarette butts. People smoke, throw it, never recycle. Where it goes? It goes into water, in the seaways, into landfills. I would say totally into the lost into the environment. And cigarette butts have got a plastic polymer in that, fine polymer. Hair rubber bands, we use hair rubber bands, where they end up? In the environment, never go back, never recycle. Buttons. Tons of plastic is washed away from the transport. Tires are running on the road, they wear off. Where they go? Into microplastic, fine particles, never seen by us. Where they go? Into the air, fly in the air, go into our lungs. Shoes, our shoe sole wears off in the time. Where it has gone? That's why the plastic, 70% of the plastic. 70% of the plastic becomes a waste. It is never recycled. So United Nations Environment Program has come with a term. Turn off the tap. Turn off the tap. Tap को बंद कर. They have coined a new sentence, turn off the tap. Now, what does it just mean to us? These are negative economic cause of the plastic pollution, destroying infrastructure, impacting energy production and tourism revenue, clogging our drains, and flooding our cities. Locally we see during monsoon what happens. Most of the drain pipes are choked with the plastic. And potentially impacting human health through exposure to the hazardous chemicals. Now, starting point for change is to eliminate unnecessarily and problematic plastic. I'm giving you an example. Chai pundi, TC. Use starting steel one or better option. Stop buying plastic filters. Stop buying plastic crockery. Even the manufacturers, even the government will be compelled. We as citizens have a lot of power. If unitedly we exercise it, we can change the government policies. We can eliminate such diseases if we as humans have the great power. Unitedly, we are the biggest power. As your campus director told that we have beaten in population the greatest country in China. So why can't we beat plastic pollution? We can beat the China in population, so we can easily beat plastic pollution, provided each one of us start acting on this. That is the true purpose of such seminars, true purpose of exchanging the knowledge, sharing the knowledge. Sometimes you have this knowledge. The knowledge is abundant on the Google and all social media. That's why I did not go into the figures. Because here figures are not important. Concern is important. So we need to take a full life cycle approach to the plastic. From where it originates, that we say virgin plastic polymer, from where raw material starts. When we want to purchase the properties, when we want to purchase the plastic items, automatically raw material demands in the market will reduce. Automatically manufacturers will stop making the things when they are not being bought by you. So awareness of the common man is necessary. So let's think every stage from the design of the product and system, plastic production, use, recovery and disposal, redesigning of packaging system and product is crucial. Now this all is very difficult. We know that poverty and access remain critical barriers to overcome. The man who cannot buy the expensive steel filter, he will certainly go for 10 rupees plastic filter because it is economical problems. We need innovation from manufacturers, importers, exporters, and the government to make this possible. Now, if the global community, which we are the part, can deliver plastic pollution cuts, it could fall by 80% by next 15 years. Now this will dramatically reduce social, environmental and human health costs, cut greenhouse gas emissions, and interestingly, when you stop using plastic products, lakhs of new jobs will be created. Lakhs of new jobs will be created. I give you an example. Earlier people used to make your doors and windows by hand. So a lot of carpenters, a lot of engineers, lot of technicians came for people for the job. When plastic products came, they are just melting it and molding it, and in the machine, the whole thing is made in few minutes. So people are more jobless. So indirectly, cutting the plastic use will generate more jobs for the people. The government can deliver a strong deal to end plastic pollution. Business can show innovation and commitment to move away from the virgin plastic starting immediately. But plastic can continue to bring huge benefit to humanity if we completely rethink the system to keep it circulating in the economy. It is not gone to the waste. After one use, it goes back. So it remains in the circulation. As earlier I mentioned, that out of 100, the 70% goes into the waste, vanish. And interestingly, to create the plastic from the petroleum products, a great deal of energy is wasted. Like for example, to make 1 kg of original plastic, lot of water is wasted to run that machinery. Lot of air pollution, lot of fuel is burned. So indirectly, production of plastic has much more indirect damages to our environment. Now we cannot, as I earlier mentioned, what the government has to do, let the government. But as a responsible citizen, we can have our voice. आवाज उठाओ against the pollution, against all these deadly things. You can raise your voice. You can use your vote. Don't vote to the people, to the government who don't care for your environment. And your wallets with your money. So voice, vote and vote. You can control the government also to act in this direction. So reduce the production, use and discharge of plastic. Now I will leave it to you to answer how each one of you will do this at your own level. By now, around 10 minutes, interaction is gone. I am sure you must have decided what you are going to do at your home or in your workplace. If you have decided on one item or one step, today's seminar is succeeded and you have contributed to the global power. I will leave it to the volunteer to speak. Any volunteer who can stand up and tell them what action they have done to start from today. Have confidence in yourself. I know many of you have decided. Dare to stand up and tell others. Line starts from somebody and you can be that leader. The others will follow you. Yes, madam. Yes. You are waiting my invitation to tell. I know you have the idea. Tell what you are going to contribute to beat the plastic pollution.
Sir, thank you.
Mike. And every one of you be prepared. I will give you a chance. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम आए बोल के चले गए, आप सुन के चले गए। नो, यू आर इक्वल पार्ट ऑफ दिस सेमिनार। वेरी गुड, क्लैप। दैट इज द बिगेस्ट थिंग। हम खरीदेंगे नहीं, गवर्नमेंट बेचेगी कैसे, मैन्युफैक्चरर बेचेगा कैसे? Appreciate. You need guts, you need confidence to make a change in your home, in your lifestyle, to change your habit. You have to have a confidence, you have to have a courage, and you can. We all are born same. They say nobody is born great. Your work becomes great. By what you are known. Otherwise, everybody from top to bottom, they are born same. So your thoughts makes you great. So your action make you great. Okay. Pass on to next. Give chance to others.
नमस्कार। जैसे मार्केट में हम जाते हैं तो अक्सर देखा जाता है कि प्लास्टिक के बैग में दिया जाता है। तो आज के लिए ऐसा ब्रांड देता हूँ कि कोई पहला जो लड़का बना हो वो ले लेगा, जिससे कि चाहे दूध से या सब्जी है उससे ले लीजिए।
थैंक यू। पीछे दीजिए, नेक्स्ट रो। हाँ जी मैडम, यस योर सर।
जैसे हम मार्केट से दूध लेने जाते हैं तो हम प्लास्टिक के बैग में से दूध नहीं लेके जाएं, घर से कोई स्टील का मग वगैरह लेके जाएं तो उसमें दूध लेके आएं।
So we have to change our lifestyle. We have to make a habit. स्टील का कोई पॉट ले जाने की आदत में क्या है, हम जाते आते चलो जी पैकेट पकड़ रहे हैं। आप दूध नहीं लेके आए अपने बच्चों के लिए, आप कैंसर खरीद के लेके आ रहे हो, ये याद रखो। You should be encouraged. You should come about. This institution has created a very good professionals from your students. My own son is the chief officer today. He is ex KC. He has been participating on all the debates here. You should be example to others. Volunteers that I will speak. I have the better idea. Yes.
So rather than using plastic plates for eating, we can use steel plates or other metals available in market for that, like glass, copper.
So are you going to implement in your home?
So I use steel plates.
Very good. Thank you. That's a great. Pass on to the third row. Okay. I have a beautiful prize. Surprise. The person who gives the best answer, and your answer will be decided, best will be decided by your campus director. So I give option to the 5 participants to give a best answer. What new things they will implement in their life at home or in office. So 5 answers, 5 chance, and 1 beautiful prize is waiting. Surprise. Start with anyone who ran here. Yeah, please. That's good. मैम जरा ध्यान से सुनना, प्राइस आपने डिसाइड करना बेस्ट।
तो पहली बात तो ऐसा ये इजी नहीं है कि हम बोल देते हैं कि हम यूज़ नहीं करेंगे बट फिर भी हम यूज़ करते हैं ये, ठीक है। बट जो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि हम पेनल्टी लगाएंगे अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स के ऊपर जो ये यूज़ करेगा, ठीक है। और मतलब प्लांट्स करेंगे मोर एंड मोर प्लांट इन अवर मतलब होम एंड इंस्टीट्यूशंस, है ना, कि उसका मतलब अपना इन्वायरमेंट को सेव कर सकें। अगर पेनल्टी नहीं करोगे, स्ट्रिक्टली नहीं रूल रेगुलेशन को लगाओगे तो कोई फॉलो नहीं करेगा सर, सिर्फ बोलते हैं।
You mean to say stick and carrot?
हाँ,
पहले
होम से शुरू कर लेना चाहिए।
Good.
अगर हम करेंगे तो बच्चे ऑब्वियसली करेंगे।
Thank you. Okay, next volunteer. 4 chances remain. Next. आपको जी
सर जितने भी हम प्रोग्राम्स करते
माइक
हैं,
लीजिए।
हम जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स करते हैं, चाहे वो कॉलेज लेवल पे हो या हम सोसाइटी में कोई भी करते हैं, उसमें हम फ्लैक्स लगाते हैं एज ए बैनर। तो आज इस प्रोग्राम में हमने कोई फ्लैक्स नहीं लगाया, और जितने भी हम सोशल प्रोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं उसमें
So 3 more competition.
All of you show your hand and show your mobile. I think that please remove your plastic cover today. With me also. We all are using. Right? Plastic bottle, we are drinking water. We have to use steel bottle, copper bottle. If we go in our house, if we see in our daily life, since morning to night, we are using lot of plastic. Yes. What we can avoid, what we can remove, what we can investigate, that depends on you. How much we can do this? ऐसा नहीं कि आज सुनने के बाद शाम तक याद रहेगा कल भूल जाएंगे. I think that from tomorrow you are going to bring water for your plant. वो किस में लेके आओगे? Yes, thank you.
Okay, we continue with 3 more participants.
So as a new technique is being followed in different areas, like we are replacing the plastic chairs from jute chairs, and bags also are replaced from jute. So that is a new initiative, like bamboo bags and bamboo chairs are replaced. So that is a more appropriate way rather than using the plastic.
Correct. So here, what your suggestion? Now here I will touch. Let's decide to divide the plastic into 3 parts: single use, short-lived, and unnecessary. Here, where you have such a dilemma, you decide what is unnecessary, what is short-lived, and what is single use. That will help you. Single use, simply say no, because what you have already bought and you have used it and thrown. The next thing, don't buy it. What is short-lived? Again, that will perish. What you have done a mistake by not buying the short-lived. The बच्चों के खिलौने थे, छोटे-छोटे खिलौने टूट जाते हैं फेंक देते हैं. That's finished. But in future, stop buying. And unnecessary, there is no reason to buy unnecessary things. Go to the fair, just this plastic flower is looking very nice. Okay, very brilliant. Unnecessary. Really, you did not need it in your home just because you went to the market and you thought of it. When you went to the market from your home, it was not in your mind because it was not your need. You are just by seeing emotionally just getting into by you. It is unnecessary. So these 3 things you remove from your life. So remove from your life a great deal of pollution control is done. And then what I said earlier, that circulate to the system. If you have bought 100 kg of plastic, produced the plastic original, used it, reused it, and it should remain 100 kg with you. It should not go to the natural environment. It should not be mixed with the nature. If you have already purchased the chair, it is going to exist here for 10 years. After 10 years, send it for recycling. We have to have a policy that I am not going to throw the things into waste. I will control it. I will implement how many kg of plastic we have purchased in this year. Ma'am, this is important. You have bought 100 chairs, no? Okay, you have bought. Weigh them. How many kg plastic has come to your institution? So make a inventory of it in kg And how many kg it has gone out of the institution for the recycling. And if there is a difference, that means you have lost it into environment. So having a chair is not a problem. But now we have to dispose of it in a controlled manner. Like electric batteries are being, the companies are told if you sell 100 batteries, you give us the data that have you collected the 100 old batteries. So if you are giving 100 new and taking the back and again making it, it's okay, no problem. Here problem is the waste which is being banished into the natural environment. So this issue is solved. And also you must promote the use of safe, sustainable alternatives and substitute. ऐसे जैसे बोला कि other biodegradable items का utility शुरू करें. So basically food wrappers, plastic bottle caps, plastic grocery bags, plastic straws, strainers are the next most common things. As you told that somebody has cut the bottles and made flower pots. When you cut that portion 4 inch by 4 inch out of that, where is that gone? Bottle was still safer. You could have kept in the garbage and bottle collectors would have taken it for recycling. But you have cut the bottle into the pot where the small portion is thrown, where the cover that you have thrown into the waste. How did you manage? You made a pot and you are now watering with which water? Potable water, drinking water you are wasting. How many kgs, how many liters of water is being wasted? Isn't that damage to the environment? When I usually said to create 1 kg of plastic, how many liters of water the industry uses? We have to see that. Even manufacturing of small car, 40,000 liters of water is wasted. For making 1 new car seat, 40,000 liters approximately potable water is consumed. So these are the indirect damages to the environment. So at the first instance, don't buy the bottles. And when you cut these shreds, the small microplastic, when you cut it also, you lose little bit particles while cutting. They go as a microplastics. They are vanished into our atmosphere, in the air or water. So with this I will sum up. It was a nice interaction with you. I'll just tell you once again that why we are against that plastic pollution. Even when you buy the plastic and recycle it and segregate, the process in segregating, the global estimated annual loss of the value of plastic packaging waste during sorting and processing. Sorting, old को इकट्ठा करके उसका भी sorting करना है, then again it has to be reprocessed. In that, around 9 lakh crore rupees estimated being spent. पहले कचरा फेंक लो, फिर उसको साफ कर रहे हैं. तो क्या बोलते हैं बाई फिजिक्स वर्क डन है 0. अगर मैं वहाँ से घूम के जहाँ आके खड़ा हो जाऊँ, have I done any work as per your law of science? If I go from there and come and stand here again, have I done work? I'm here still standing there only. So what work is done? Same way, first you buy the plastic, then you pollute it, then you clean it. So better not do all these things and your money is safe. So 9 lakh crore rupees is estimated the cost of sorting and processing. Even when we say we will segregate our waste in our institution, some money has to be spent for segregating. You have to pay for it. Somebody has to do the work. But if you don't pollute your institution, so we don't have to segregate. So better ban the plastic of such things into the institution. And it will not only save your institution, it will send very, very deep message to the parents of thousands children are coming here. Their parents will learn something that what is the importance, why the mother should not pack the baby's food in the classroom because school doesn't accept it. This is a small change will send you your message to the government and the public, and globally it will happen. So with this, thank you so much. I think, successfully not given you the lecture, but truly what I desired, the interaction session. I trust that it should be like that. It doesn't bore you. As teachers, I think you have learned it. Lectures bore the student. So while being a student also, I never liked the lectures of others. And I learned through my life that as a good teacher, we interact with the students. So lecturing, nobody liked it. So that was the idea of making you participate, maybe willingly or unwillingly, and it gives you confidence. And it is very good that others get influenced by your personality, by your ideas, and that you should continue. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Our next keynote speaker is Dr. Vandana Raghav, who is Dean of Research and Development at IIM Janakpuri, New Delhi. She is a noted professor and has 20 years experience. She has published various research papers in index journals. So we welcome Dr. Vandana Raghav. So ma'am, we are really delighted with your presence. So now I request Dr. Vandana Raghav to please share your views and thoughts with our audience. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for calling me. And my special thanks goes to Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujarati for giving me this opportunity to come and speak on a very special day of World Environment Day. And I am feeling very much enlightened after listening uh, the first speaker. So I just wanted to know that whether my voice is clear or not. Is my
Yes,
voice
your voice is clear.
okay? Thank
We
you
are
so much.
audible. We are audible.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rashmi ma'am. So the topic of today's discussion is sustainable development and economic growth. First of all, I would like to congratulate each and everyone for the World Environment Day. And before proceeding for the discussion, I just wanted to tell you okay, why I have chosen this topic. Because being an professor of economics, my thought for the day is okay, everybody is talking about World Environment Day, that we need to save our Mother Earth. We need to do all our actions which is related to we can save the world, we can save the Mother Earth. But on the other hand, we will be talking about economic development, economic growth. We need to produce more. We need to feed the huge population, especially if I am talking about India. When all these things are there in our mind, so it will give a negative impact on the we can say on the environment. So is it possible that we can develop our nation and we can join hand in hand with the other nations as well by protecting the Mother Earth? This is my we can say point of speaking today, because my discussion is more focused on the economic concept of uh, economic concept which is related to the World Environment Day. Yes. So first of all, I would like to tell you what do you mean by World Environment Day and why we are celebrating this day. We all know that World Environment Day is an annual event celebrated on the 5th of June to the raise global awareness, and taking action towards protecting the environment. Established by the United Nations in 1974, it has been since become a prominent platform to address pressing environmental issues and encourage individual, community, and government worldwide to encourage and to engage in sustainable practices. The emphasis of World Environment Day lie in its ability to mobilize people and catalyze positive changes. Every year, the event focuses on the specific themes, highlighting a particular environmental concern that recognize urgent attention. It serves as an opportunity to educate the public, promote sustainable practices, and advocate for policies that support ecological well being. And this year, in the year 2023, the theme for the World Environment Day is Beat Plastic Pollution, because we know that pollution is a very big problem, not only for the India, but for the whole world. And plastic is one of the key, we can say, a factor which contribute for the pollution throughout the world. Apart from the we can say industrialization, uh, the plastic pollution is very much hazardous, which create a lot of problem, and it also hindrances to achieve the goal for controlling the pollution throughout the world. The event impact extend beyond a single day. We cannot we can say that not only for the World Environment Day. Well, we can talk about the World Environment Day, we can talk about the pollution, we can show our concern related to the earth only on 5th of June. No, if we can celebrate this day just to make peoples aware about and how they can practice throughout the year. And we can also inspire by encouraging the environmental action throughout the year. It provides a platform for various stakeholders to share innovation ideas, initiatives, and best practices, fostering a global dialogue on environmental sustainability. So ultimately, we can say that the World Environment Day serve as a reminder that protection the environment is a shared responsibility. It is not the responsibility of the government, we can say. It is the responsibility of the whole nation, the whole world, the whole society, and which includes from the individual itself. So, to achieving the goal of the world environment, we can take the help of the sustainable development. So, the importance of sustainable development and the economic growth, they lies we can say in the need of balanced environmental, social, and economical factors to ensure a prosperous and resilient future for both present and the future generations. So here I am telling you some of the key points highlighting the significance of the sustainable development. The environmental prevention is very much important. So sustainable development recognize the finite nature of earth resources, which is responsible resource management, pollution reduction, and conservation efforts aiming to mitigate climate change, preserve biodiversity, and maintain ecological balance. Yes. And social equity is very much important. The sustainable development emphasize social equity, ensuring that economic growth benefits all the member of the society throughout the world. It focuses on eradication of poverty, reducing inequality, and providing access to education, healthcare, and basic services to each and every person who are surviving on the earth. And economic prosperity is also very important. It is essential for improving living standard, reducing poverty, and, and fostering innovations. However, sustainable development emphasizes that growth should be decoupled from environmental degradation. It encourages the adoption of sustainable business practices, investment in clean technologies, and the development of green industries, which are generated jobs and economic opportunities. And if we are talking about the long term re-silencing, by integrating sustainability into economic growth, society become more resilient to future challenges. Sustainable development consider the long-term impact of economic activities, avoiding over-exploitation and ensuring the ability of resource for future generation. It promotes the use of renewable energy, efficient climate change, and other global challenges. And without the global cooperation, we cannot achieve the goal. For achieving the sustainable development requires international collaboration by addressing economical, environmental, and social issues collectively. Countries can share their resources and best practices. Cooperation on sustainable development can lead to greater sustainability, improve trade relations, and enhance global well-being. Risk mitigation is also one of the important issues, because unsustainability economic growth can lead to environmental degradation, resource scarcity, and social unrest. By prioritizing sustainable development, society reduce the risk associated with climate changes, resource depletion, social inequality. So we can say that sustainable practices can help prevent or mitigate future crises and promote a more stable and secure world. In summary, we can say that sustainable development and economic growth, they are go hand in hand. Without one, the and to achieve the another possible. And we need to integrate environmental, social, and economic consideration. Society can strive towards a future where prosperity, equity, and environmental prevention go hand in hand. Sustainable development is a concept that aims to meet the need of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. It recognizes the interconnectedness of environmental, social, and economic aspects and seeks to integrate them in a balanced and harmonious way. So, I am going to discuss some of the key principles of sustainable development. It includes, the first thing is environmental stewardship. Sustainable development emphasizes the responsible uses and conservation of natural resources, ecosystem, and the biodiversity. It promotes sustainable practices that minimize pollution, reduce waste, and mitigate the negative impact of human action on the environment. Social equity. Sustainable development aims to create a society that is fair, just, and inclusive. It emphasizes the importance of eradication of poverty, reducing inequality, and ensuring access to education, healthcare, and basic services to all. It recognizes the right and well-being of all individuals, including, we can say, marginalized population. Now, I am going to speak on the next principle of sustainable development, that is economic viability. Sustainable development acknowledge the importance of economic growth and prosperity. However, it advocates for a shift towards sustainable economic system that is decoupled from environmental degradation. It encourages the adoption of sustainable practices, investment in renewable energy, green technologies, and the development of industries that promote sustainable consumption and protection. Intergeneration equity. Whatever we have used, we need to save that thing for the next generation as well. Keeping this thing in view, sustainable development recognizes the responsibility of the present generation to ensure that future generation have the same opportunities and resources available to them. It promotes long term thinking and planning, taking into account the impact of decision and action on future well-being. Here, that question comes in most of the students' mind, that they have studied about the French Revolution, the Industrial Revolution in their history and all, and they also knows that how the developed country, they have exploited the resources in the last 200 to 300 years, and they exploited all the natural resources in such a way so that they can gifted us, especially the citizens of the developing countries. They have gifted all about the negative impact of of the environment, like the ozone depletion, the greenhouse effect, the acid rain. So why all these things are there in the environment? Because they have exploited the resources in such a way so that they never think about the environment. They never think about what they are gifting the next generation. So we all the present day generation, we need to think about what we should be giving to the next generation. The next thing is integration and holistic approach. Sustainable development calls for the integration and environmental, social, and economic consideration of decision making process at all the levels. And that should be keep in mind to the all countries as well, whether they are the developed and the developing nations. It emphasized the importance of considering the interconnection of the trade-off between the different aspects of the development to achieve a balanced and sustainable outcome. If we are talking about the collaboration and the participation, so sustainable development recognize that achieving its goal required the active involvement of cooperation of all the stakeholders, including government, businesses, civil society organizations, and the individual, to encourage uh, inclusive and participatory process that fosters dialogue, collaboration, and shared responsibility. So the concept of sustainable development opens an eyes to one and all, and framework for addressing pressing global challenges such as climate change, biodiversity, biodiversity losses, poverty, and inequality. By addressing of these principles, society can strive towards a more sustainable and resilient future where human well-being is emphasized while preserving the integrity of the planet. Fundamental principles of sustainable development also recognize the interconnectedness and interdependence of these three aspects and seek to ensure their harmony coexistence. Here is an explanation how these factors are integrated and interrelated with each other. If we are talking about the economic factors, so without using the economic factors, we cannot do any production, and it is very much difficult to distribute and consumption of goods and services in the economy. So we need to exploit the we can say economic factors. So in sustainable development, economic considerations are aligned with with environmental and social objectives. It involves promoting sustainable economic growth that supports the well-being of communities while minimizing negative environmental impact. This can be achieved through various means, such as by adopting green technologies, investing in renewable energy, promoting sustainable business practices, and developing industries that prioritize sustainable construction and production. And if we are talking about the social factors, the social factor encompasses the well-being's equity and inclusiveness of society. Sustainable development recognize the importance of addressing social issues such as I have told you earlier about that poverty, inequality, and assessing the education and healthcare and social justice. It emphasizes the need for social equity and ensuring that economic development benefits all the members of the society equally. By integrating social factors, Sustainable development aims to create inclusive and just society where people have equal opportunities and enjoy high quality of life. And if I'm going to talk about the environmental factors, so environmental factors focus on the conservation and sustainable use of natural resources, ecosystem, and biodiversity. Sustainable development acknowledge the human activities impact the environment and seeks to minimize negative environmental impact while promoting ecological integrity. It involves practices such as sustainable resources management, reducing greenhouse emission, protecting biodiversity, conserving ecosystem, and mitigation pollution and waste. By integrating environmental factors, sustainable development aims to ensure the long-term health and resilience of ecosystem, which are essential for the well-being of both current and future generation. If we can say, if we integrate all these factors, require a holistic and multidimensional approach to decision making and policy formation, it involves considering of trade-off synergies and interconnecting between economic, social, and environmental objective. For example, when making decision about infrastructure development, one must consider not only the economic benefit but also the social and environmental impact such as community well-being, cultural heritage preservation, ecological conservation. So integrating these factors, it also requires collaboration and cooperation among various stakeholders, which includes the government, the organized society, and the individuals. Here I am not sure whether my voice is there and whether what I am saying everybody is getting that thing or not. So I want to ask one question to the student. If you answer it right now, you can answer, or we can discuss this thing after the session. So my question is ki I am talking about the sustainable development goals for the development of our society. So for the development of our country, we need to exploit many of the things for the development. But can you tell me some of the ways how we can minimize the level of pollution or the exploitation of the society? Are you aware that your government is taking some of the measures to control the pollution and to reframe our infrastructure or some of the policies to preserve our environment? So can you discuss some of the examples which is there you are using in your day-to-day life? Rashmi ma'am, is there any provision that they can speak and I can get their voice? Any student they want to tell us about any of the policies you are aware about, what government of India they are taking the initiative, and not only the government they are making the policies, but from the top to the ground level, everybody is adopting the policies. Yes. देखिए you guys are very much reluctant in using the plastic. अभी क्या है कि this thing is making aware not only among the college student but to the school student as well. कि now the citizens of India they are saying say no to plastic. So many of us we are not using plastic. We are using some another alternative. We are using the jute bags or the cotton bags in place of the plastic bag. The second example which I want to give, actually I am expecting this thing from you guys, but I'm not sure whether there is a provision that you are getting my you are having the mic facility. Abhi kya hai, government is giving more emphasis in using the electric vehicles in Delhi. Around 10 to 15% of the vehicle now you can see with the green number plates. It means ki people are adopting these policies. So we need to make these initiative from the grassroots level. Then only we can achieve the policies made by the government, or we can achieve the motive of celebrating this World Environment Day. Okay, and there if you want you can find number of ways Now the construction companies, they are thinking about making the infrastructure or developing the infrastructure in such a way so that they can minimize the use of electricity and the ACs. And not only in the metropolitan, you can see these things in some of the small towns as well. Now the infrastructure is designed in such a way so that we can minimize the use of electricity. अब आप देखते हैं दिन में भी लोग बाग लाइट जलाते हैं, and AC is very much, we can say, is a predominance. Everybody is using AC now. The whole of the campuses, the universities, the colleges, the corporate offices, the schools, the houses, they are equipped with AC. So you can imagine what are your contribution in polluting your country and to in the greenhouse effect. Okay, so as you all know that the United Nations also talk about the sustainable development goals, as they have stated 17 interconnected goals, which was established by the UN nations in the year 2015. Because all these problems, they are interrelated with each other. If we want to make our planet a better place to live, so we have to say no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-beings, quality education to one and all, whether they are living in the developed countries or in the developing countries, whether they are living in the metropolitans or whether they are living in the small villages. So all these facilities should be giving to each and every human being. Quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequality, which is there in almost each and every country of the world, not only in the developing countries, but you can see this thing in the developed countries as well. Sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action. As you all know, that climate change, it is giving a negative impact to the whole planet. I am from Delhi, and in the month of May and June, after every second or third day, we are having rain. So, what is this all? This is all related to the climate change. What we have never experienced in our life, that in the month of May and June, we are having rain. And not only to the human beings, but we need to look after the life below water. So one of the sustainable goal, they are thinking about the life below water, the life on land, whether it is human beings or any other living beings related to the biodiversity. Peace, justice and strong institutions. We need to create any strong institutions to upgrade the peace and justice in the whole world. Partnership for the goals. Not only one country, but the whole world, all the countries, they need to join their hand to achieve these sustainable goals. And the sustainable goal recognize the connectedness of these goals and the need for integrating and collaborating approaches to achieve sustainable development. They provide a universal roadmap for the governments, businesses, civil societies, and to individual to work together and taking action towards more sustainable equality and resilient world. If we are looking on the economic growth and environmental impact, so the sustainable development goals are not legally binding, but they serve as a framework for setting national agendas and guiding policy making processes. They encourage countries to align their development plans with the goals, mobilize resources, and track progress through, we can say, integration, and targets. By addressing these goals, more inclusive, prosperous, and sustainable world we can expect for each and everyone. And we can also focus that resource in incentives development. Economic growth typically involves increasing resource extraction and consumption, like the deforestation and all, which you have experienced in your country as well. Habitat destruction, depletion of natural resources, it all causes environmental degradation. Most of the species in the world, especially the birds and all, you are finding all these things are distinct. Industrialization and pollution is also one of the problems which we can say contributes much to the this word, that rapid industrialization and increasing production leads to higher level of pollution, including air and water pollution. Industries may employ inefficient technologies and practices, resulting in significant environmental damage. Urbanization and infrastructure expansion, that economic growth often entails urbanization and infrastructure development. This process can lead to land degradation, loss of biodiversity, increased economic and increased energy consumption, and high level of waste generation. So we can say that as society advance economically, they often bring to prioritize environmental protection. This shift can lead to a decrease in environmental degradation for several reasons. Because as the economy grows, they think only about we can say the development, the resource, the exploitation of resources. They think about more industrialization, more production, more consumption, but they never think about, okay, why to consume more? We need to serve many of the things for the next generation as well. So our society advance economically, but they often bring to prioritize environmental protection. This shift can lead to a decrease in environmental degradation for several years. If you look into the history, it gives you many of the evidences that many of the developed countries, they exploit the environment like anything, and they exploit the environment in such a way that the repercussions we are facing. So for the present generation, and this is the advice to the next generation as well, कि whatever we produce, how much we get developed, how much we industrialize, but we need to keep this thing in mind. We need to protect our environment. So environmental and awareness and consciousness is very much important to keep this thing in. If you want to keep our world safe, as the income increases, rising society become more aware about the negative impact of the environmental degradation on health, well-being, and future stability. So environment consciousness grows, prompting individual, communities, and government to to privatize to prioritize environmental protection. आप देखते हैं ना कि जब इंसान अमीर हो जाता है, उसके पास पैसा आने लगता है, देन दे थिंक अबाउट द सेफ एनवायरनमेंट. हमें क्यों ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल रही? व्हाई वी नीड टू लिव इन दिल्ली विद सो मच ऑफ पॉल्यूशन? बट यही आदमी जब ये प्रोडक्शन कर रहे थे, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हो रहा था, nobody is thinking about this. Next thing is, we need to make aware about the technological advancement. Economic development, as we develop more, it fosters the technological progress. Advanced technology can enable more efficient uses, clean protection method, and renewable energy resources, reducing environmental impact. development is what? Abhi tak there are 16 parameters. On the basis of that we measure the economic development of any country. But आज की डेट में the most important factor is जो country clean है, less polluted है, the country who are producing less of pollution, they get a special place in the list of economic development. So as we are developed, we are using more of technology. So we need to use this technology in such a way so that we can reduce pollution. We can reduce the negative impact of all these things of industrialization and all these things on the environment. So my submission to all the student, I am telling all these points in detail to each and everyone, because you are the next generation. You are the upcoming managers. You are the upcoming industrialist. So doing business is not your cup of tea, but doing business by keeping the things in your mind related to environment, because this is the need of the day to protect your environment. So you need to use the all the technological possible tools and techniques so that you can protect your environment. Now, the next thing is regulatory measures and policy intervention. जैसे आपकी कंट्री में है पॉल्यूशन, सेंट्रल पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, स्टेट पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, एनवायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन एजेंसीज, तो इनका क्या काम है? दे नीड टू मेक द पॉलिसीज, दे नीड टू make the people aware about the policies, and they need to make the policies which are important for environmental protection. They implement, regulate, and policies to mitigate environment degradation. These measures can include pollution control, environmental impact assessment, and the promotion of sustainable practices. In fact, I want to give some suggestions to the Indian government that they can provide some of the awards to the environment, to the industrialists uh, who are keeping all these things in their mind while while doing production. And there are many rules which are made by the especially I'm talking about the Indian government. They can levy the rules and they can levy the punishment if you are creating pollution, because it increase the social cost. आपने pollution बढ़ा करके profit earn कर लिया, but उन लोगों का बेचारे, उन लोगों का क्या? जो बच्चे अभी पैदा हो रहे हैं, they are born with many of the diseases. Environmental cooperation and agreement is very much important, as global efforts such as international environmental agencies and cooperation, they play a crucial role in addressing environmental degradation. Collaborative action and shared responsibility can lead to the development of sustainable practices and the reduction of uh, negative environmental impact. Sustainable development goals, I have already discussed about these. The adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations provides a framework for integrating environmental consideration into development strategies. By aligning with the SDS, society aim to achieve sustainable development that balance economic growth and the environmental protection. By prioritizing environmental protection and adopting sustainable practices, society can aim to achieve a decoupling of economic growth from environmental degradation. This transition involves embracing clean technologies, promoting renewable energies, adopting sustainable agriculture practices, and fostering sustainable consumption and production patterns. It is important to note that the timings and success of these transactions can also varies across the countries and regions depending on factors such as governance, technologies, capabilities, cultural attitudes, and policy effectiveness. However, as society become more aware of the importance of environmental sustainability, efforts to address environmental degradation and prioritize environmental protection excuse me. Yes, the now I am going to talk about some of the trade-offs between, जब हम बात करते हैं इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट की, जब हम बात करते हैं इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट की, जब हम बात करते हैं ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन की, तो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ वी कैन अचीव, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड एनवायरमेंटल सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंड इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ दे आर हैविंग सर्टेन ट्रेड ऑफ्स, उनको कुछ ट्रेड ऑफ्स करने होते हैं. So I am telling you some of the trade-offs between the economic growth and the economic sustainability. देखो सबसे पहले क्या है, resource use and depletion. Whenever we do any production or industrialization, तो हमारा economic जो resources है हम use करेंगे ही करेंगे, उनका depletion होगा ही होगा. But what we need to do, we need to do a trade-off. We can use the resources in such a way so that the depletion, the habitat deconstruction, and the loss of biodiversity should be minimum. And the pollution and emission, because the industrialization and the pollution, they go hand in hand. अगर हम industrialization रोक देते हैं तो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ रुक जाता है, अगर हम इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन बढ़ा देते हैं तो पॉल्यूशन बढ़ जाता है. बट वी नीड टू go this thing in such a way that industrialization and economic growth, we can make a check in such a way that it can save the greenhouse gases, we can minimize the air pollution, we can minimize the water contamination, and by using several devices and technologies to make the check on these pollution. Next is land use and conservation. Okay, we can use the land use in such a way that that agriculture is very much important for the country. Infrastructure is and urbanization is also important in the another aspect. So this can result in habitat loss, deforestation, and fragmentation of ecosystem. So we need to make a balance between the economic growth with the environmental sustainability of the ecosystem. Now we need to talk about the trade-off between the energy resources. That energy consumption and the choice of energy resources can have significant environmental implications. We can use fossil fuels while using the fossil fuel, we can generate more of the carbon emission. So we can substitute this thing by using electricity and some another alternatives. And economic cost and the transition challenges we can face. The shifting towards environmental sustainable may require investment more capital in by to use clean technology, research and development. Yes, Rashmi ma'am, I am making this lecture short because I have many points to discuss with the students, as I just want to motivate the student, whether they are the student of management, whether they are the student of business, they need to save the earth. Whatever action they need to take, they need to make the decision in such a way so that they can make the policies related to their production, so that they can give a minimum negative impact on the society. Can you give me 5 more minutes to wind up, Rashmi ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
The last we can say that yeah, there are several strategies and policies that promote sustainable development. मैं आपको कुछ policies के बारे में बता देती हूँ, like integration planning and policy integration, green economy and the circular economy, sustainable consumption and production, renewable energy transition, sustainable transport and urban planning, conservation and biodiversity protection, stakeholder engagement and partnership, education and awareness from top to the bottom levels, green finance and investment. So these are some of the points which I want to, we can say, suggest our student while making the decisions. Although I need to discuss many of the point, but in the sum up, I want to say this thing: कि our government is working hard in making the policies, because the two objectives are there in front of each and every one of us. We want to grow, we want to develop, but on the other hand, we need to take care of our earth as well. Whatever decision related to production and anything else, you need to make the policies, you need to make the decisions. And if you want to if you want to produce anything, so you should use the devices which can control the pollution. There are many devices available, but we need to make aware our we can say our business or the industrialist, so that they can make use of all these. Because for the development, India is running on the